Here we go, guys. This feels like gilt number 3 here. Certainly does. Oh yeah. That one's scrapping. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, sitting back out on the boat. At the moment I'm just tied off in amongst some boat moorings up the River Tamar, and I am fishing, targeting Gilthead Bream yet again. It's now early September, which is, in my opinion, the best month to catch good sized giltheads. This is when I've had my PB and all of my big fish. As usual, it's never easy to catch them. They are very elusive, but I will let you in on a little secret. The mark I'm fishing here at the moment, I lost a very good fish about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I literally couldn't stop the thing, and it took me right the way through a load of moorings and done me. I was absolutely devastated, but that's just life. And when you're fishing for giltheads, they are strong fish, so they will do you when you're fishing in amongst boats and moorings, etc. If my hair looks a little bit quiffy, a bit more quiffy today, it's because I've already been out with the camera on my head doing some filming, trying to get some more content for you guys. I set out first thing this morning, tried to do a bit of squid fishing, and my plan was also, once I'd caught some squid and cuttle, to go out to the reef and fish some baits over the reef to try to catch a few coochies bream. I failed. I caught one small squid. The weather was blowing a hoolie, couldn't get off shore to the reefs either, so plan B, back in up the river, a little bit of sheltered fishing, and it's not really a bad second best, is it? If you have a little look around there, you'll see my rod's out fishing already. I'll whiz you through my rigs in a moment, and that's about it. I'm fishing ragworm baits. There's a little tap on my right hand rod there. Actually, I'm fishing ragworm baits that I've picked up from Southwest Sea Baits. Got some lovely rag, actually. There you go. And yeah, fingers crossed, let's see if we can't get ourselves smashed into a great big gilt today. Right guys, as I said, I'll just run you through the rig and show you what we're doing today. So here you can see I've got a running pat. I like to use them on a pulley bead myself, especially from the boat. When you're not messing about casting, it gives you a real nice, easy, free running lead. And you can see there I've got about just over a feet worth of mono holding the lead on. That leads down to a series of beads. If I can just get this down for you to see, that leads down to a series of beads, and then the swivel leading onto the hook snood, which is a combination of 25-pound fluorocarbon, Sakuma fluorocarbon, down to another swivel. And on the business end, I've got a little section of braid, my braided hook length, and some beads with a little stopper. And as you can see, I've got 2 little ragworm baits there. Beautiful baits once again from Southwest Sea Baits. I've got a lovely box of nice size ragworm. You know, I much prefer these size baits than the great big king rag for this sort of fishing. And that's what we're doing. So hopefully when we if and when we do get a little bit of action, the giltheads will not feel the lead with this running pat rig and give us a good opportunity to try to catch one. Let's pop this out. It's just flicking just down the tide. I've got the other rod out fishing already. It's just over to the left hand side. And yeah, let's do this. I really hopefully we can catch a nice gilthead today. Getting a few knocks on both rods. I'm hoping it's not a big plague of bass coming through. Both rods have just tapped over. They're fishing in quite close proximity to each other, if I'm honest. Right, this one's just going to be popped out. There we go, little flick out. It is about 20 odd feet deep here. I'll have a look at the sounder in a minute and let you know. But firstly, I just want to rebait this other rod. A little bit of weed pushing through at the moment. Hopefully that doesn't start being a problem. That one's been stripped. I was getting a lot of little flutters and nibbles from what I suspect was probably tiny little bass a moment ago. And we really hope they don't start coming into play, because they can be a real nuisance at times. But anyway, let's have a little go with this one as well. I'm just going to flick this out. That's it. There we go, both fishing. Lovely. Getting a little tap. There we go, we've got something on there. Okay, we're into something. Giving a good account for yourself, to be honest. It's a little Gilthead. Excellent. If I can just get the net, I won't take any chances with the old Giltheads. Now I would have, before I bent into that, I would have sworn that that was a bass having a go. But yeah, nice little gilt to start the day. That's first fish. Excellent stuff. Here we go, guys. Lovely start to the proceedings. That there is comfortably over a pound. Pound and a half sort of size, I would say, and give a real good scrap. When I first got the bite, it was only a little tiny few shudders. I thought it was a bass bite, if I'm honest, and then bang, hey presto, lovely Gilthead. Once again, I like to always show you, look at the gnashes on them, and I'm really hoping today to get folded into a proper fish. But that's a good start. I'm going to drop this one back in, and we'll carry on. There we go. And we're set up again. That was a missed bite there, guys. I've just cast that out and it's just given me a nice bite. Oh, shouldn't have missed that. Look at that. Fresh worm that's been smashed. Go again. Very quickly and swiftly. Hopefully there's still a few of the same little crew down there. Just a little flick there. Well, there we go, guys. I'm straight into a bite again. I've just this second put that bait back down. Okay, we've got something on here, guys. It's a little bass. Well, that would be the culprit of those little bites we were getting. Right, unfortunately this left hand rod now is just getting hit instantly as soon as it hits the water by a small bass. So what I'm going to do is turn the cast in and move it around somewhere else. I think I'm going to put 2 rods out to the right hand side there, because you can see the rod just tipping away there. Look, there we go. We're definitely not looking to empty the sea of these little things today. So yeah, we've got to change the position we're casting here. They're not going to move. There we go, look. Little sods. Again, bites as soon as he's hit the water on this left side, but the wind's pushing me facing the left side, and I can't fish over the other side, and there seems like a hell of a lot of bass sitting in behind me. I'm just hoping that I can fish through and a nice gilt head will just come and muscle the bass straight out, and have first pickings of the bait. That's in an ideal world anyway. Well, I'm going to put this one back out. The other rod's tapping away. Now, a little tip for you guys when you're casting out on the boat, if you are casting, I always will just hold the line and slowly tweak it over so my bait flips over before it hits the water. If you just let it hit the water like a big pile of rubbish, it's all going to end up tangled and snagged. It's a good idea just to slowly just hold the line while it's going down, feather it down to hit the water and get it to turn over before it hits the water. Well, this one has just hit it on the drop. These pesky bass. It literally folded the rod over as I was putting it down. Bloody things. Just had a few taps on my left hand rod. It's difficult when the bass are around in such numbers like they are. You start to get a bit disheartened, and you're letting little knocks and bites go when... There we go, there's a fish on there. That's feeling okay. What do we have here? Got another gilt. Excellent. In she goes. Haha. And that's what I was just saying, you know, you get a little bit disheartened because you're thinking bass, 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 and all of a sudden Mr. Gilt pops back up again, and you've you know, if you're not on the ball, you're going to miss the bites because they will spit you out. They don't hook themselves, and there you go. Look, just have a look. The hook there is just in the bottom of his mouth that time. There we go, guys. There's gilt number 2, ever so slightly smaller than the first one, and £1.25 pounds size, something like that. This one I'm going to take home for the pot. I let the first one go, but this one, although it was only hooked just in the mouth, is bleeding quite heavily. Oh, and they're lovely eating fish anyway, so I'm going to take it for the pot. But there you go, gilt number 2. Happy, happy days. Just had another good tap there on my left hand rod. Go on then. It's had a couple more goes at it. It's left it. Let's bring that in. That's one thing I would say, guys. A little bit of advice here would be when you're fishing the worm baits. I mean, that one's still had enough to be fishing, but when you are fishing the worm baits, don't just miss a bite and then sit there for an hour waiting for another bite. If you get yourself a knock on the worm, give it a couple of minutes and then come back in with it, because half of the time, more often than not, you've got no bait, or as in that case, the towel's gone and it loses the attraction, and you're just sitting there fishing nothing really. So stay proactive, stay busy. definitely no point in sitting there with no bait on. Nothing's going to take a bare hook. Oof, that sun is scorching today. That's very, very hot sun. Started off this morning when I was after a few squid, it was blimmin' freezing. I had my salopettes on, hoodie, thinking about putting the overcoat on as well. And now the sun's come out and it's beautiful. Here we go, guys. This feels like gilt number 3 here. Certainly does. Oh yeah. That one's scrapping. Really going well. He didn't want any of it. Let's get him in. The ledge just flicked off. But who cares about that? That's number 3 for the day. And look at that, hooks come out in the net. As it does sometimes with them, as soon as you release that pressure, they disgorge themselves. That's a nice fish. Excellent. Well, there we go, guys. 3rd bar of gold of the day. That one's probably getting on close for £1.75, £2. It's similar to the first one I had, and really nice fish, good solid fish they are. There we go. Excellent. I'm going to drop this one back, and then we're going to quickly get the rod back out again, because I'm sure there's another few fish to be had. It's an hour to low water now, and this is the prime time, so happy days. Flicked. Right, let's get this one back out. Back on the money. There we go. Back down it drops. Have a recast on this rod. This one has got something on there. There we go. What do we have on there? Not much kicking. Could be a spider crab, this one, I reckon. Yeah, I called it right. There you go. Spider crab. Pesky things. Hopefully we don't start getting turfed over by these bloody things. Now, I've seen numerous fish just plotting around underneath the boat. I'm just going to poke this down and see if we can catch them at it and see what it is down there. Probably all scarpered now, as soon as that's got in. There's another little bass. Blaming things. There we go. Nice little medley of worm. And out it goes, fishing. Guys, I've just had number 4, but the camera went absolutely doolally on me, and I don't think I recorded any of the fight for you, unfortunately. But here we are. That's fish number 4. Oh. There we go, guys. That's number 4. Happy days. I'm going to just drop this one back in. Very similar to the others. About £1.50, £1.75. And just going to pop this one back. That's one we've kept. Free of live to tell the tale. Excellent. just waiting for him to get a little bit of strength. There he goes. It's just after low water now, guys. We've taken 4 gilts so far, probably half a dozen small bass, but they're a complete nuisance, to be honest. I'd rather not have had any. I guess about the next hour or so is really prime time fishing, so I'm going to sit it out for another hour or so and then skedaddle. Taking a nice gilt for the pot, let 3 go so far. I really would love to find a nice big solid fish. All the fish we've had have been sort of, you know, £1.5 to £2 size, and if they were tope you'd call them pack fish. But we just want that one big loan shark, you know, the one big 4 or 5 pounder swimming around on its own, or with just 1 or 2 mates, and to come and delve in and grab hold of the bait. That's what I'm after now. What have we caught? Oh, we've caught a rock. Excellent catch, that is. Now, how the hell did that happen? Look at that, guys. That there is... That's a snail that's trapped my line. Look at that. Well, there's a bite. Right hand rod. Oh, now that was a better bite altogether there on the left rod. Oh. Here we go, guys. Just missed the bite there, sorry, but rod doubled over. Nice aggressive bite. I think we're into another gilthead here. Certainly are. Oh yeah. That'll do us. That was a really nice bite. Lovely. That's number 5. Brilliant. Here we go, guys. Number 5. Little smaller. £1.25, £1.25, but happy days. Going back. Whoosh. Now, guys, my best day on the boat, gilt fishing, is 5. That was fishing in the Salcombe estuary, and as you've seen, we're equal to that now on 5. So be lovely to maybe take 1 more fish and make it my best numbers day gilt fishing on the boat today. It's been a fantastic day. I started the day off fishing for the squid and out in the bay. There's a bite. I think I've just had a knock straight away there on my right hand rod. I've just cast it out. I started off, as I say, fishing in the bay for squid and cuttlefish. Ended up with 1 small squid for my efforts, fishing about 4 or 5 solid hours, a few mackerel on the mackerel feathers, and that was it. So I decided to cut my losses and come in here slightly earlier than what I wanted to, and I'm so pleased I did, because it's been constant activity all day, really. You know, with the, I know the bass have been a nuisance at times, but we've had a constant trickle of gilts throughout the whole session, which has been brilliant. Right, guys, well, that'll have to do us today. Tried really hard to get that 6 gilt to beat my best day on the boat for gilts with numbers, but it just weren't to be. Anyway, 5 gilts in a day is good going. I've got myself 1 nice bream to eat. I've also got a few mackerel. I've got 1 squid that I caught earlier on. He's been sat on ice for the day, and there we go. Very enjoyable day on the water. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've picked up a few tips maybe along the way. Until next time, we'll see you again, and please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. it really helps the cause. Numbers are slowly and steadily building, and as you've seen, I look to turn out the similar sort of level of content week after week. So see you again. Bye bye.